Welcome back to our Brazil episode 17. Just taking a nap here to get to July. There we go. Things are... I guess we're still in the winter, I guess. Everything's still dead. So we have... Oh yeah, on the previous episode we were down at the quarry. And we were testing some things out to try to see how we could get these sand piles, this dirt, and it wasn't getting picked up. I did figure it out. I was trying to look online, I actually couldn't find it, but what you have to do, you do have to buy this production here, which is the limestone production, and that is 2.6 million. So it's yeah. So if we do that, go down that route, we're going to need a lot of capital to do that. Again, we could take a loan out to do some of that to subsidize it a little bit. But I still think it's a little too early to start doing that. Again, if we do the cement factory, it needs dirt, it needs lime, it needs pallets. You'd have to buy everything, and you know you're not going to get your return if we supplied it all with that. I don't mind supplying some of the stuff, and actually you kind of have to do these two for sure. We're obviously going to do the pallets because I'm not going to do the wood production. But that is, we don't want to be at a debt, like lose money doing a production. So we got to wait. Let's just get a little bit more money. We do have the previous episode, we have another oil well up. So we are hauling here. Let's take a look and see how full these are. So that's about half full there. We could maybe start another production. Let's turn back the LP back. Well, actually today, let's see if the LP is bulk or not, because that's the question. I think it's in that tank on the side, if I had to guess. Yeah, we're gonna sell them at our productions, obviously. I think it's really the only spot you can do it, yeah, because it's not in the map. Yep, that's all there is here. So that is quite all right. So we'll grab the trailer, and we'll see if it does fill up in that tank, and we can make a sale. And we get the kerosene taken down there as well. Yeah, we're facing the right way there. And then we'll probably start, there's a couple more production or products I want to see yet coming out of there. Let's see here. Diesel. Yep, there it is. LPG, let's fill her up. Hardly will be any. 809. And actually that might be better to like do one of those products once we get, I do want to see them all, but after we get going, to just do it in bulk here and then just sell it like this once a year. That's really easy and doable. Okay, here we go. Bam, 26,934. Excellent. Gonna do a little tour of the oil. Well, let's go, yeah, because I want this facing the other way, so we gotta go around. Look at our dirt and sand pile. That's kind of cool and unique, ain't it? We built that the previous episode, and I was like, let's make this look kind of cool. Like it actually is kind of a construction that's quite unique. A little time consuming to do that, but it does take pride when you're done. Okay. Now we'll go grab their forklift and then we'll get these kerosene bottles sold. Did we get a zoom up, close up on these? Let's get a closer look at the kerosene. Look at that. Kerosene, yeah. That looks nice. Not much there, but for a product that does look nice. Okay, let's get these picked up here. How much, so let's see what one pallet's worth. I think these are all, yeah, so we're good. It shouldn't tip out one pallet instead of double stacked. There we go. So we get about 9,837 per pallet. Oh my god. Bam! All right. What is our grand total for that sale? 68,864. Nice. Okay, so what we want to do is set our next product. So we still have motor oil to do yet, and then paraffin. I have a feeling that this one's gonna, well, it seems like that one would be bulk, but maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, our bearing grease was actually more than these other two. Well, actually this one here. Let's do the motor oil, because we're just going right down the list. We'll let that continue as well. And then that way we can still get diesel and a product. This other one's going to start topping out here soon. Refiner definitely keeps up with all that. I don't understand why you'd even need a bigger one. Looks like we got a lot of raisins here. Are they at a good price? Could we sell them right now, or should we wait? Raisins. Yeah, they're not a very high price right now. So I think what we'll do is we will do some pruning. We'll get that taken care of so we can go on ahead and let the grapes grow. I think last time we did it like the last month before it was supposed to. It took another extra month to get going. We need to be on the other side here. Have to take our weight off as well, I guess. No, that's the wrong side. I was wondering, I was like, that doesn't seem right. There we go. Yeah, the hookups aren't there until you attach, and then all of a sudden you get the 3-point. It's a little confusing. It would be nice to get that all on one, but it's a lot of money. We could keep an eye on the sales and maybe one will come up. And then we can buy it at a discounted price. That would help a lot. I think I'm really leaning towards almost wanting to put another oil extractor up, if you will, so we can start maximizing our profits. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of gets repetitive for you guys watching. It'd be nice to get another production going of something else. Okay, here we go. Hold out to turn on. And then turn this on. There we go. First time you start is tricky because it's got to activate, and then this one we'll have to back up here, I suppose. Maybe. I mean, lowering it might help too. It's tricky. Once it gets started, though, I think we'll be alright. There we go. Now it's activated. Yeah, I suppose we do need to lower them both, don't we? Now it lines up a little bit better. Okay. So we are off. Let's get this taken care of, and then we'll see where we're at. There we go. All done. So now that can grow whenever it's ready to grow and we'll be set. We're not going to do any more extra work on it. I mean, I hope we soon get an all-in-one because it'd be a lot better, I think, than that pull behind. But the pull behind honestly ain't that bad if we don't have to back up. Let's see here. Should we put these up in the shed? We might do that. We only have to use them once a year. Might be a good idea. Then we can get them out of the way. Nice to get our car sometime, so we can park that in here. Or can we not? It's gonna be kind of tight, I think. Try it like that. We don't necessarily need to have to go all the way back. So this should be alright. There we go. Look at that. Shut that door. Perfect. I suppose we could put our rigid track in here. Although we use it so often. Okay. Alright. Bam. So let's get some use out of our garage though, because we worked hard on that. So I think without further ado, let's see, July. I think we're ready to advance. The grapes will start growing in September. Or they're supposed to. Only got 4 liters of motor oil. Once this diesel catches up, then we can shut that off. Yeah, it's the bottlenecking is not on our refiner, it's on our oil pumps. We're just not extracting enough fast enough. Looks like the raisins have finished, so that is done with. We're all good for the year until we get more grapes. So I'm looking around in the productions. On the previous episode, we were down at the trash area. I was like, obviously it was a delivery point for trash. You get trash out of the food factory here. You get a little bit of trash. That'd be kind of cool too. I mean, how much does this cost? A lot of these are not cheap by any means. So that's 540,000. That's not as bad. I wonder where does the trash come out? Pallets are probably right there. Is it possible here? But yeah, a lot of the products on that are kind of stuff that's already been, you know, you got your cereal, your canola oil. It's kind of the same basic stuff as the in-game, so I'm not real too excited to go that direction. The thing with the limestone, to be able to, you have to buy this to be able to get the dirt and all that other stuff. I don't know if we'll get that much money for lime. I mean, we're talking about a 2.6. I really would like to try to do something different because there's not many maps that you can do unique stuff like this. So I guess what we'll have to do is we'll just have to keep cruising through the months, I think, so we can kind of make it go a little bit quicker than what we're kind of doing. Otherwise it'll get way kind of repetitive here. Probably get another oil well put up, and then we'll try to like fly through some of these months and maybe set, you know, things up to direct selling. We'll see. Again, at the end of the day, we do need to enjoy our playthrough, but I don't want it to like go up to episode, you know, what would it take us to episode 30, the time it's ready to get stuff moving. That's kind of crazy. I mean, we can take a loan out. It's just, it'll take a little bit to probably pay it back. Okay, we are in August. Is there any good deals on these sales? So the raisins are yellow at the food factory. We tried to deliver them there before and it wouldn't let us. And then we got, yeah, there's no grape juice, but the apple juice is ready to sell at a high price. That is great. Fruit and vegetables. A little farther to drive, but we can load up our, oh, it's a lot of grapes to move around though. I guess we could take some time and do that. How's our oil doing? Looks like we're getting pretty full of diesel. So I may shut that off so we can start focusing the resources on the motor oil. Let's do that. Because I do want to see that. And then we got the paraffin yet to see that. And then after that, we'll go to the bearing grease. I'm thinking we'll most likely probably leave the bearing grease on. That's seems like a really profitable one to do, and it'll be less pallets to deal with. Did we get any spawning out yet of the motor oil? Maybe they're spawning pallets and we're not noticing. No, I do not see any. So it is pretty slow. Yeah, we're not to 200. We will be to 200,000 after we make these sales here, so we might just put up another oil pump right away so we can get more crude oil. Because if we're gonna buy that quarry, we gotta get going. Can't waste too much time. We said our grapes were yellow, right? Maybe we should consider selling them, or excuse me, our raisins. I think we might do that. We might just pop them over there. We'll take the apple juice down to the sale point. We'll put the raisins at our sell point. Or what's actually this next best? Let's look here. There's no reasons we couldn't go elsewhere with it. Yeah, we can't do the food factory, so yeah, our place is the next best. So that makes it really easy. That's why I leave this out, because it's pretty much using this every day. It's been a very good machine. Roll forklift on the front. You got a forklift. You can take care of our grapes nice and easy. Yeah, I'll just sell these raisins at our point. I guess we'll do a little bit of a time lapse here, and then we'll probably see you down at the sale point for the apple juice. The good news about the apple juice is that it's technically not cheating if we pick them up by hand, because they are light enough. Because as you can see, the super strength is off, but we're able to pick them up because they only weigh 170 kilograms. So we could just keep stacking them by hand. It's a lot to mess around with, especially when we got the grapes spawning at the same time. Or I should say the grape products, raisins and grape juice. Let's get this over to the sale point. We'll see what our total is. I think we might think about putting up another oil pump. And I think it will probably be the last one. Yeah, like I was saying, once we get kind of on cruise control, so we're starting to work on the other productions, we could probably set these to selling. But right now, it's like we really don't have a whole lot to do until we get another production going, so it's kind of gives us something to do. The oil, for almost all intents and purposes, is kind of self-automated. Look at that. That is a lot. I think the apple juice is paying for more than the oil production. Or getting more out of it, I should say. Suppose we could leave it hooked up. Just in case. I did have a viewer that suggested that we could make this building kind of like if we put a runway next to it. Which, it almost looks so good where we have it right now. I would have to move that. We really don't kind of have the room anymore either. The way I designed everything. Unless we would buy another piece of land over here. Because there was that... What decorations it was for that plane. It was actually part of that pool. Where is that? Yeah, right here. So if we go to... Yeah, right here, actually. I mean, it's kind of a... It's not necessarily broken, it's open for service, I guess. You could make this like a runway, or say it is one. But I guess we can't put it here anyway, because it's... We still don't technically own this. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. It almost feels like we'd have to make this whole field into a runway if we were going to do that idea. Then it looks like it's getting shipped out. Although you can't really fit much product on a small plane like this. Again, interesting idea. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, so we're up to 374,000. If we do one more oil pump so we can really get going on these products. Like, I know it's getting repetitive, but trying to make the most out of this. I mean, we could put more up here later, too. Like, it's just getting to be so much. And I do want to do some other productions to make it interesting. I like the idea of the tanks kind of being on the inside. We'd have to flatten this out here, too. We'd be able to fence this off, finally, after all these years. You had it to be, like, right in here, I think. Oh, we wanted to go actually over a little bit to kind of stagger them, make it more interesting. Yeah, I think if we put it more, like, right here. Yeah, let's do some landscaping. Okay, I think we got something going here. I don't want to go too much more crazy. Wow, that looks really good with some detail, doesn't it? Kind of got a little junky in the corner here, but it just feels right. I mean, can get through here. I don't think we'd, I don't want to say never put up another oil pump, but I think I'm ready to just let it collect, and then we'll take those profits, and then we can, like I said, try to look at, if we do that mine, we'll have to take a loan out so we could get it sooner. Otherwise, we could pop one of these over here later on. Otherwise, originally I was thinking right here, but no, I kind of like having that little junk corner and a nice little, makes it look, you know, unique and different. Wow, that looks, yeah, that's good. I like it. Probably should almost get rid of those barrels and put more of the rusted ones. And I threw this in the middle of the kind of the junk area for, I don't know, change it up a little bit, offset it for, oh, this looks really good. Our little oil tycoon area. Oh yeah, and I couldn't close this gap here completely for whatever reason. Got a little spot for somebody to sneak through. Let's try going from the other side of it once. Maybe that'll let us do it. Let's see. Chain link. This is it here. Let's, can we delete? Let's see here. Demolition mode. So it's going to want to do the whole thing. Maybe if we build from this end and go down, it might work. No, we still got a little hole over here. That's interesting. What if we change the segment? It's gonna want to do way back here. Or we could put a gate in, maybe that would help. Let's do like a small fence open there. We'll try that, and then we'll switch back and see if it'll let us. There. Will that work? That don't work either. So, I guess we gotta decide where I'd rather have the hole at. What if I go like plop down and then it don't like that at all, does it? Let's do it on the corner like that, kind of different. Hopefully nobody sneaks back there. Excellent! Yeah, okay, so I think we're going to leave it there for today's episode. Let's go into the production real quick and make sure that... Yeah, I guess it should just start getting diesel. Speaking of which, we never even turned our new one on. Turn on and then turn on. That would help. So now we should be able to start picking up on our crude oil coming in. We got to turn diesel back on so that does get some supplied to that third unit. Probably just leave that on, I think, the diesel, and just that we don't have to worry about it. We get 3 supplying it. It should be enough to not even have to worry about it a whole lot. And the motor oil, we are at 102 liters. That's going to take a little bit. That should be worth a pretty penny, I think. Okay. It is raining. I'm going to get indoors. We're going to leave it there for today's episode. We will see you guys on the next one, and hopefully we're not too far off from getting that quarry.